I put in my life into it, and giving up a lot of family and friends to achieve my goals, who's maybe the biggest cost of everything, you know. But yeah, we are close, but the dream is very close, and I taste it. I tell you, I've been close to many victories in my whole life, and it can be destroyed very quickly. So let's take one hit at a time.
Only two other drivers are realistically now in championship contention, Topi Häkkinen and Reinis Nitish. After winning the last 3 rounds, they will need Petter to have a bad day in the office in order to keep their championship hopes alive.
I think I need to, Petter need to have some kind of bad luck, but of course we need to do our best, in this weekend, and I think this track fit really good on our car, so I'm really looking forward. I think we're gonna do really good weekend.
It's easy. I have to win. That's the main thing. But yeah, sure. I have to be in semi-finals, and I hope that in the final as well. The Petter is so close to the championship title. But we have to push to the limit to stop him.
Ford IMSC top the team's championship, and with 3 rounds to go, any of the top 3 can still win. This is the European Supercar Championship's last event. Robin Larsson just needs to keep his nose clean if he wants to walk away with the title. Also finishing their season here are the Super 1600 and Touring Car Championships. With 3 champions certain to be crowned in Italy, it promises to be an exciting event. The Italian Franciacorta International Circuit is the first of 3 new tracks to finish the season. Situated in the north of the country, it's guaranteed to provide some Italian passion and dynamic racing as the championship reaches crunch time. Coming up, we catch up with the action from Heats 1 and 2. We take a look at the rules and regulations of Rallycross. The racing continues in Heat 3. It's elimination time in Heat 4. We go live for the Supercar semi-finals. We have full race coverage from the RX Lights final. And then it's the grand finale, the Supercar final, live. Here's the Italy track preview presented by Ion Cameras. Away from the line, it's an immediate left-right, a big jump onto gravel, then tar, a long run and an enormous jump before a right-hander and the split for the Joker. They merge at very high speed on a very long straight before heavy braking, a long hairpin right, a tight left-hander and back down the start-finish straight to rejoin the end of the lap. Franciacorta Circuit welcomed the World Rallycross regulars to Italy for round 10 of the championship. The boys chasing Petter Solberg prove they haven't thrown in the towel yet. Reinis Nitish put down a marker in his heat race with a lights to flag victory. With Topi Häkkinen passing a smoke-filled Tiedemann for second. Andreas Backward had a disastrous Heat 1. He jumped the start, resulting in a Joker lap penalty which cost him dear when he clipped the entry and punctured. Peugeot Hansen teammates Timmy Hansen and Tim Timosjanov faced off in their first heat race, with Hansen setting a time that wouldn't be bettered. Timosjanov coming under pressure from local hero Gigi Gali, the Italian World Rally star proving he has the measure of the RX regulars. The most exciting race of Heat 1 though was undoubtedly the battle between 2 ex-world champions, Petter Solberg and Jacques Villeneuve. Solberg displayed his rally skills over the jumps, while Villeneuve showed his circuit prowess in the corners. Solberg crossed the line first, but a great race could mask a serious problem with his car.
With the engine leak, back in the flywheel, a crack in the block, and the main thing now is just hope that everything will last the next heat, and we will put in a used engine from early this year from Canada. This is tough, this is hard, this is a big fight now, and why now?
Andreas Backward was quick to make amends for his earlier troubles, taking a race win in Heat 2 that sent his fans into a frenzy. Fellow Norwegian Petter Solberg had a different mission. He was desperate to nurse his DS3's engine home, and luck was on his side. Heat 2 fell to Johan Kristoffersen with a fantastic drive, and having finished second in Heat 1, he topped the standings overnight.
If we have no problem and everything is running smooth, I knew that we could be on top spot. And I'm really happy that everything is running so smooth, and now I'm really looking forward for tomorrow for another good day with no problem.
Kristoffersen at the top of the table then. Of course, all eyes are on the championship fight, with Nitish and Topi ahead of Petter. That will continue towards the semi-finals.
Gadget della bibita energetica partner e main sponsor.
Gigi, it's a real pleasure to see you here, and it looks like you're enjoying yourself.
Of course, I really don't have any word to say because I'm excited every time, and for the second hit of my life, of my career in rallycross, it's been together with a four devil like Peter and Hakkinen and Timerzianov, and it was something that I really don't know, and I'm quite pleased for the pace. I mean, after 6 years out of anything of racing, and you know, I was a little bit scared, but in a special way regarding the fight together. That's something that I'm not used to. So I must be happy. I'm pleased to work with this fantastic team. It looks like being one family, and that's sport.
Watching the races today, it looked like you were having another really good day. How was it for you?
Yeah, we are consistent and good average speed, but we're not the fastest. But we're just looking for the European title right now. Then we come into the semi and step up, I think.
And it does feel like you've got one hand on that title. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it feels great right now, but we have been struggling with some leaking oil of the engine, so we have to go down really much of the power, so we can't match the guys on the top. So I'm just aiming for the European title now, then we can do it better in the semis.
Talk us through physically, like the jumps and the steering, how this circuit is.
Something new for everybody, you know. You have the steering all the track, but for everybody is the same. And in our level, we have to like this track. We have to like every track, not dislike, and we have to drive fast. That's how it is in World Rallycross. But actually, yeah, something new for everybody. Big jumps, maybe not so good landing, but it's hard for the cars and hard for me as well. My back is hurt a little bit now, but yeah, we will make some improvements for tomorrow, and I hope that will be better. Now I'm actually on the top, and I finished third in the heat 1 and then 7th in the heat 2. It's good. We are in the top, and I have a pace, and we have some small things what we have to do for tomorrow.
The action got underway on Sunday morning. First race of Heat 3, a brilliant start by Jacques Villeneuve, and he was never challenged. Thomas Karai came very, very close to binning the Skoda Fabia. Down at turn 1, this happened to Andy Scott. He was fired off, and then later on made a mistake, clicking the curbs. Same thing happened, but more spectacularly to Morten Vermingrid in the very next race, launching the C4 into the air. Rennie Munich braked himself down at the Joker lap. Robin Larsson currently leading the European Rallycross Championships. Nervous start for him, and then a mistake over the jump. Clips the curbs. Lucky he gets away with it. Timerzianov was left out front to take the heat race victory. Heat 3, race 7, Petter Solberg, Andreas Bakkerud, Richard Goransson, Reinis Nittisch and Henning Solberg. This will be spectacular down into turn 1. None of these guys are going to give second best. A little look through the window. Plunking the car into gear. On board with Petter. Listen to that, the car on the rev limiter launches it away from the line. It's a great start from Petter on the outside, all the way across. Oh! Spin, that's a spin down in turn 1. That's Bakkerud who's been turned around on the way in. An absolutely unbelievable start though from Petter Solberg. Launched the car and came all the way across on the outside. Wow, Ramona, that was great.
Really impressive what a start, and from the 5th line he just took the lead, and yeah, what a speed.
Fantastic. On board now with Petter.
Look at the focus.
You can see he's so emotional, isn't he, in his face. You watch an onboard with Nittisch and he's all calm and collected. You watch it with Petter and he just looks so urgent.
Yeah, always the open mouth.
Yeah, always the open mouth, yeah, concentrating. You can see there, on the brakes and down, tries to back the car into the hairpin, turns it a little bit earlier than maybe the classic racing style, but then Petter Solberg all the way through on the exit.
Yeah, really love it, right?
towards turn 1. Comes past the competition now. We can hear the anti-lag popping where we're stood. Second place is Henning Solberg, his brother, so it's a 1-2 for the two Solbergs. Henning very, very comfortable in the car this weekend. We were actually on board with Petter as well when he went off the line, and we saw the physicality of the car launching.
You also saw the really strong focus from Petter before the start. It was just a green light that he was thinking about.
So engine change for Petter Solberg overnight. If we missed that, it's on his final engine. In fact, the one that changed down from Canada was still in perfect working order. They retired it, put a new engine in the car. That one had a cracked block yesterday in Heat 1. They managed just to get it through Heat 2 with a fair old bodge job on the engine, it has to be said. But he made it. He was sitting about 10th overnight. But he's now on his last engine, so 15-point penalty if he has to change another one. Of course, he has a massive lead in the World Rallycross Championship. He could win it here this weekend. Baccarat, tricky day for him yesterday. He had a jump start, Ramona. He's done quite a few of those in recent events.
Yeah, see, I think it takes some chances sometimes, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But this track is very dangerous to chance on, because the joker lap takes a lot of time, and you lose approximately 4 seconds maybe for extra.
He had to do 2 yesterday, and of course on the second one he clipped it and took the tire off the rim.
Yeah, he did not a good start for Baccarat, and not the depth of this heat as well.
Baccarat star luck in recent events. He was fantastic last season, of course, taking 2 wins from the Monster Energy team. This year he took a win early on in the year at Lincoln Hill. Like him and Nitish out front for the championship, but a few little problems for both of them has meant that Petter's got a great lead. On board with Nitish now.
Yeah, he's for sure a fast driver, and also can say many parameters.
Nitish has got, I think Nitish got a problem. Nitish got a problem. He seems a long way back. Baccarat has just come past the competition flat out. You're seeing pictures of Petter Solberg. We're waiting for Nitish to come past the competition. We'll give you an update on what's going on there.
You can see he's 5 seconds after the fastest time in the laps, so something has happened to Nitish.
Nitish locked it up.
He has a puncture on the right front.
There we are, puncture on the right front. Ramona Carlson, great spot, thank you very much. And that is why Nitish is struggling, and this is playing into the hands of Petter Solberg. It's Nitish and Heikkinen who are right behind him in the championship standings. Solberg squirms the car around on the brakes, typical for his style.
He enjoys the time, I think, handling in the car now. He has driven the Saab before for Mr. Eklund, but he has increased his pace even more now.
Relief from Petter, great heat race win from him. The mouth's still open, it'll take him a while to recover. Second place Henning and Goranson, and then Baccarat, but Nitish down towards the end of the lap. You can see the front right rubber hanging off the rim. They're trying to hold on for a half decent time, but Nitish is a long way back.
It's
He's
very
in
hard
danger, in danger of running wide there, but finishes the race. He was high in the qualification standings last night. Nitish was 5th, so even with that problem, I think he still stands to make the semis. Petter Solberg's out of the car waving to the crowd.
Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah,
I must say I'm also really impressed about Richard Göransson's driving. It's the first competition for him in a supercar. He has driven a supercar lights before.
Petter Solberg taking the win from Henning Solberg, Richard Göransson, Andreas Baccarat and Rainis Nitish. Petter goes into the lead with Henning as well. Look at the difference in time. That is unbelievable. Petter Solberg, 6 seconds faster. That is incredible.
And look at his fastest lap time. It's incredible. 46.5 seconds.
Fastest time of the weekend by half a second. Really Petter Solberg, this was the start, Ramona. How brave.
Yeah, I think the Canada engine is working really well.
It is, isn't it? There's no problems with that at all. Spin for Baccarat. A bit of contact there, some tyre smoke. Solberg flying, though, in every sense of the word. Absolutely rapid here in Heat 3. He's marching towards that World Championship. Heikkinen still to come in the next heat race. Problems for Nitish, who's one of the only 3 who can win the championship. Neil Cole is up in the Iron Spotters Tower. Let's see who he's with.
Disappointment there for Rainis. Can you tell us what happened, where he got the puncture?
Yeah, big disappointment. He had the puncture at the start with a small crash with Baccarat, so then he has to drive as much as he can be, and so we'll see the result, but not so good. 3 and 7 yesterday, and we have to push for the 4th heat.
But he's one of the drivers that can still prevent Petter Solberg from running away with the championship, so he needs to really get another result.
Yeah, we need a result. He's 3rd on the championship now. We have to fight to get back the 2nd place, and Petter is quite far now on the championship, so we'll fight for the 2nd.
Thank you.
Line up then for the final heat race of Heat 3. Pontus Tiedemant, Timmy Hansen, Topi Häkkinen, Anton Markland and Johan Kristoffersson. 3 VW Polos on the inside from 2 different teams. Markland and Topi Häkkinen will be very keen to avoid each other, particularly because Häkkinen in the middle of the grid is in second place in the World Rallycross Championship. He has to get a good result here to take it even to the next round. Great start by Häkkinen in the middle, really hooks the grip up. Can he get down to turn 1 first? Markland's on the inside trying to protect him. Oh, contact between Kristoffersson. Markland slots into second place. It's Hansen who leads, Kristoffersson second, Häkkinen third, then Markland protecting his teammate, and Tiedemant is in 5th place. These guys all really fast. If they've got any sensible head about them, Ramona, they'll just follow each other around for a time.
Yeah, absolutely. The 3 Polos are really fast, and actually Topi and Markland's chassis engineer is the same engineer that has built Kristoffersson's chassis on his car, so yeah, he's done a great job.
Very, very fast down the straight in the slipstream of Timmy Hansen, trying to pull out. Hansen takes a defensive line. He's done a lot of circuit racing. Kristoffersson's trying to come around the outside, but Hansen with a great job there. Kristoffersson right up behind, a bit of understeer from Kristoffersson, slightly too fast into the hairpin, and Hansen leads it as they come around to complete lap 1. Timmy Hansen will be very comfortable here, won't he? This is a little bit like Lowiak in terms of, apart from the jumps, it's flat and there's a fair bit of grip.
Yeah, this is a track that suits Timmy really well, and it's a car made for tarmac settings, but you can see also the jump lands very smoothly, so I think the Team Hansen has got a very good chassis setup.
Hansen over the jump down towards the far end, a little bit of steering movement just to catch it. And he turns into the standard lap. Joking so far. Markland and Häkkinen both joking on the first lap, so they got themselves out of the little traffic jam and away. Hansen there seems to have gapped Kristoffersson a little bit, so I don't know if Kristoffersson made a mistake, because he doesn't seem... what's happened there with Kristoffersson? He's dropped right back, Ramona. Any ideas?
Yes, I'm not sure. I look at the lap times. He's about 7/10 of a second after Hansen per lap. We'll see in this lap.
Long way back, and he's fallen into the clutches of Pontus Tiedemant. Tiedemant is right up behind him on the break down into turn 1. A little bit of handbrake from both of those guys, then on the gas and over the jump. So Kristoffersson, Tiedemant, behind those 2, Häkkinen and Markland are chasing. It's all going to come down to when these front 3 joke up and what the gaps are like between them. So at the minute, Häkkinen is around 7 seconds behind Hansen. So if Hansen keeps it tidy, when do you joker, Ramona, in this situation when all 5 guys are fast? What do you do?
Yeah, if you can see that Hansen is a bit faster, I think that Hansen should wait until the last lap with the joker lap. But if they spot to see that the car behind him is taking into him, I think it's a good decision to take it a bit earlier.
Häkkinen comes out in front of Tiedemant. Markland is down in 5th place, but it's all about Häkkinen here because, of course, he is the championship fighter. Through the left. He will be hoping that Kristoffersson is slow on his joker lap. He can get the overlap. Hansen flies over the jump. Nervous times from the spotters on tiptoes, desperate just to see over the tyre barriers and see where everybody's going. Oh, massive jump from Häkkinen. Tiedemant behind him, but they're tidy through that dangerous curb section around the left-hander. Timmy Hansen is already down the far end of the circuit. Hansen and Kristoffersson must joker now. Hansen smoothly through. Little lift there, you can see the flames through the exhaust on the brakes and around the hairpin. Hansen on the handbrake.
He was, for sure.
So there we go, Timmy Hansen, circuit racer, using the handbrake, gets the car turned in beautifully and comes out clearly in front. Great job, Timmy Hansen. Kristoffersson's going with him. It's super tight between Kristoffersson and Häkkinen. Häkkinen, though, is into the 3rd position, goes on the brakes. The rear end of Häkkinen's car is locked up. Hansen through the last left-hander. I think it's still in the background. Looked like Kristoffersson had got it. Kristoffersson, oh, Häkkinen so sideways. Häkkinen so sideways in the last corner. Yeah. Brilliant drive. He had a look at Kristoffersson, but he couldn't get him.
No, he couldn't get him. He tried and tried, and yeah, but for sure a good try.
Good start from Topi Häkkinen. Very, very fast. How quick was that? Okay, not as quick as Solberg this heat race. Here's the result. Timmy Hansen from Kristoffersson, Häkkinen, Tiedemant and Markland. Let's see where they slot in. So then Hansen in behind Solberg. So Peter Solberg, the World Championship leader, with an unbelievable drive. That is 2.5 seconds faster. That is a dominant performance. If anyone had any doubts about that engine, they're gone now. What about this?
Incredible.
Into turn 1, Häkkinen with contact between the 3 Polos.
Yeah.
Well, 1, 2, 3 yesterday and a problem in turn 1.
A big Volkswagen mess in the first corner, you can say. But
it was indeed. Hansen flying over the jump. Hansen he checked out here.
Yeah, he did. He was very determined and firm, and yeah, he was just going to take the lead.
This was Kristoffersen having a look, and Kristoffersen lost a lot of time on lap 2, and we don't really know why. He was with Hansen, and then he was gone.
Yeah, I didn't see that as well.
Ah, there it is in the background. Kristoffersen
yeah.
with a mistake then, and that's where all the time went.
Right.
Fantastic. Look at the replays, shows us what we need to see. Hansen with a bit of unusual handbrake for him. He got the job done. He's second fastest. Yesterday, Hansen was first and fourth fastest, so he's going to be right at the top of the qualifying list. Neil is up in the Arm Spotters Tower. Let's see who he's with now.
Looks like Toppy was pushing very hard there. Has he done enough, do you think?
Yeah, he was pushing hard, but he was doing big mistake there in the chicane in gravel, and that was costing him a lot of time. And it was a shame that Anton was also behind Toppy, and he was also losing some time in there because he couldn't pass Toppy. So, of course, this was okay result, but we know that we can do better, and we will do better for the next heat.
Do better in Heat 4, but Petter's time looks incredible. Do you think you can match that?
Yeah, he got that's true. He got incredible time, and now for the Heat 4, we just need to go out and try to hunt him.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Petter Solberg there with the fastest time of the weekend, about half a second quicker than Timmy Hansen went yesterday. Let's see where that puts him in the overall standings after Heat 3. Timmy Hansen then is sitting in the top qualifier position, just one place ahead of Johan Kristoffersen, and Petter Solberg moves up the order into third place. Behind him, Topi Heikkinen. So Heikkinen, of course, is his championship rival. I wonder where Reinis Netish is. He's certainly not inside the top 8. There he is. Netish is in 10th. So it looks like it's going to go to the semis at the moment, but Heat 4 still to come. In the World Rallycross Championship, the teams are subject to a strict set of technical rules, which are there to ensure safety and great racing.
We have a regulation, as you know, and we need to build the cars, and we need to do it proper way. So of course we need to look really into this regulation and to follow every step to not have a problem after. I mean, to be secure when we are on the races. Before the event we have a time schedule, so we need to follow within an hour of window. We need to scrutinize the cars. They are mainly checking the safety equipment, which is very, very important. They also have some specific issues they normally take up on the scrutiny before the event. Then after the event, some cars are selected to be checked on something special. We never know what it is. Normally it's the fastest guys in the final.
Pre-event scrutineering, we are concentrating on the safety issues. That's the main target, to make the race safety for drivers, safety for everyone. And of course we are also sealing the parts which are resisted by the amount. And also we are registering the tires. So we seal all the engines. The reason for that is that we force the teams to have a little bit less power, to make the engine last at least for 4 events. So every team, they have for every driver they have a possibility for 3 engines per season.
We have 3 plombs, so you could have 1 engine, but make the 3 plombs so you can rebuild the same engine. And I think that's also set this 3 engines to be quite a good balance for cost efficiency.
Of course, it doesn't always work out like that. At the last event in Germany, Timmy Hansen moved on to his 4th engine, and that means a 15-point penalty for both him and for the Peugeot Hansen team he represents.
We need to keep the balance so it's possible to do rallycross on a very efficient cost way. So also interest manufacturers to come, because if you compare with WRC, rallycross is a lot cheaper, of course.
Toppy, looks like you were pushing very hard in Heat 3. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I pushed really hard and I made a little mistake on that, and I lose 1.5 seconds. So that cost a lot for us, but still we have 1 hit left and we're doing our best.
Now, pushing hard, without the mistake, do you think you can match or beat Petter Solberg's kind of times? Because he's looking very quick.
Of course, we need to trust ourselves what we're doing. And now it was really slippery. There was wet on the track, so I didn't know that really well, like which corner there is really slippery. But yeah, it was quite good, but still Petter are now on the lead. So we need to do a better job and doing the car a little bit faster also.
The Volkswagens look very quick here this weekend. What is the secret, and how do you make them a bit faster?
No, it's Volkswagen. There's no any secret. No. the Micro Motorsport worked really hard to make this car really fast. So thanks for all the guys, and they made a really good job in this weekend, and hopefully we're gonna give something for the mechanics also.
Thank you. Good luck. Timmy, it looks like you're really dialing into this circuit. What's it like to drive?
This circuit is amazing. It's like really long straights, and the jumps are incredible. You go over it flat in 6th gear, the big jump, and yeah, it's good fun. I had a good fight with Kristoffersen in the first lap. I did a mistake, and then he was really up my back. But I closed the door, and after that he was gone from my mirror, so pressure was less, so I could push and do a good heat. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to beat Solberg, but we have a first, fourth, and a second now. So I think we're in good way for the semi-finals.
And it must be all about getting the setup right here, but also, if you don't have to defend, you could be as quick as Solberg, I guess.
I hope so. If I can put a full heat together without pressure, with no mistakes, then for sure I'll give him a good match. But it's all about getting the setup right, and I was really happy with the car now. It feels amazing. It's fantastic on the tarmac sections, and even though we have a stiff car to suit that, it's still jumping really good. So they have found an incredible balance between everything, and I'm feeling really comfortable.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
A very eventful Heat 3. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, it was tough heat actually. I did a good job, a good start. Henning Solberg was inside of me, but then Bakker comes from outside. There wasn't a space for 3 or 4 cars, and yeah, I can say unlucky race incident between me and my teammate. I pushed him in the doors. I got the puncture, and yeah, we have to be strong at this moment. We have one more heat today, and let's see how it will work, but we are trying to be in the semi-final.
The early races of Heat 4 saw some fantastic action. Andy Scott got away from the start better than Reinis Nitish and managed to hold him off for a couple of laps. Nitish letting him know he was there. Nitish jokered, found some clear air and managed to take the victory. Carnage at the start of race 4 saw 3 cars retire in the first 2 corners. Linnerud went on to take the win. Our lining from the grid next, Heat 4, race 5, Davy Genet, Peter Hedström, Linus Westman, Andreas Backerud and Alexander Tuel. Let's see if 1-2 in the championship. Petter Solberg, Topi Heikkinen, sharing just a little chat. Looking relaxed and smiley with each other. Wouldn't be the same if they were going down into turn 1 together. Backerud caused his teammate Nitish a bit of a problem in the last one. Looking for a clean start from these 5 guys. That looked like a jump start to me, but they too have been released. So we've got Hedström into turn 1 first. Surely they're going to be called back. 3 of the guys are on the grid. Alexander Tuel has moved after them. Red flag. Red flag. There's a replay of the start. Hedström easily the first move. Hedström was the front of the car, raced up, he was away from the line. And I think it was a reaction alongside him. Restart ready for this one. Hedström, I think we'll have to double joker thanks to that mistake. Jumping to start, it was Westland who went with him, but it was Hedström who caused it, so thumbs up. Second attempt at getting this one off the line. Race 5, Heat 4. That's better by everyone except Tuel. Backerud on the inside. He manages to get to turn 1 first. Westland follows him in with Hedström. And then Genet, Australian World Rallycross team. So a clean start, Ramona, certainly compared to the previous heat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good start for everybody except from Tuel, as I said. I don't know what happened. It was a slow reaction.
Caught sleeping, I think. Andreas Backerud down to the end around the right-hander. I wonder if his team had words with him. Of course, there was contact between him and Reinis Nitish in the last race, which caused Nitish's puncture at turn 1. Is that a lot to him, or should he have been protecting him from the outside?
Well, as teammates, you should not hit each other, of course, but anything can happen, and well, it's a lot of stuff happening in a short time, so
a few mistakes from everybody today. That's Rallycross down in turn 1. No mistake from Backerud so far. Hard on the brakes, just locks one of the wheels on the way into turn 1. Little bit of handbrake. Away and over the jump. Backerud Slight bounce there at the rear end. Westland is second in the Saab, and tell us about the Saab, Ramona. You drove one of these cars earlier this year.
Yeah, Linus Westman is doing his first competition in the Eklund team Saab. I was doing some competitions in the other Saab. Per Eklund has two cars, a black one and a white one, and the black one is a bit older, and I drove that for the competitions.
How does it feel? I mean, obviously you're in a great position to compare that now with the Albertech 208, which you drove at the last event. A different era of cars, although your car, your Saab, you said was on the minimum weight, so it was a good car, but obviously they're very different, I imagine, to drive.
Yeah, actually the weight is very light in the car. It looks very heavy, but it's minimum weight. But the most difference between the Saab and the Peugeot, I think Peugeot feels like a much more modern car. It's a new car, you know, and it's one wheel in each corner, and it's like a bit easier to handle. But Linus is doing a really great job, I think. He's taken over the Henning Solberg car now, so...
Henning, of course, has moved across to Monster Energy World RX. Sub for Liam Doran. Liam's up in the Iron Spotters tower with us right now. He's Rob's team manager. We'll be keeping an eye out in this one for David Genet. Genet currently fourth. Lap times are around 50 for the rear three guys, but 47 for Backward, 47.2, which is fast.
Yeah, that's fast. Really good time.
Where was Backward coming into this one? Backward was 18, so he needs an absolutely mega time here, and he needs to understand problems. He's not going to make it through to the semis. Mathematically, Backward was in theory in with a chance to win the championship, and that would have required Petter to retire everywhere and Backward to win everywhere. So that's going to happen. A three-car race at the back there. Westland, Hedstrom and Genet. Dirt flying up in the air. They've dropped Tuel a little bit. So Backward was a long way clear through the Joker lap now. Round the right-hander, watch this. Little nip on the handbrake, turns the car in, opens the throttle up. Now it's just a drag race to see if he gets out in front of the other three. And as they're only turning into the corner at the start of the straight now, this is going to be a clear win for Backward. Great drive.
Yeah, absolutely. A great drive from Backward. I think he's a little bit bitter of his jump start in the heat one, because if he hadn't done it, he would have been in the semi for sure. But we'll see how far this will go.
Backward over the line, checker flags out. Well done to him, and he waves to his fan club. Backward has a massive fan club, most places that he goes, but particularly here in Italy. Maybe hired a private jet or something and flew them over. I suspect not a private one.
And used to sing the Baby Blue song.
Yes, they did, didn't they? Yeah, from when he was driving the Twingo, hanging out the side of the car, waving. Careful, Andreas. Here's the result. Andreas Backward takes it from Linus Westman, David Genet, Hedstrom and Alexander Tuel. Backward goes fastest by around 5.5 seconds. Great job by him. Up to the drivers who followed to see if they can match him. There are the Like a Boss Backward fan club.
It's for sure the best heat Backward has done before. Before he did the heat of 3:20, so it's almost 3 seconds faster.
Great drive by Backward. Managed to get into turn one first. As we've seen today, that is absolutely crucial.
We're giving it all now to be in the semi-final. Let's see how long this will go.
Yeah, he can't do any more, can he? Couldn't have done any more, other than making less mistakes yesterday. He's made amends for it today. Certainly in Heat 4. It's going to come down to other people's performances. Crowd enjoying the sunshine here in Italy. Absolutely packed grandstands. Neil Cole has actually managed to catch up with that heat race winner, Andreas Backward.
Andreas, that's much better. Very quick too. Do you think you've done enough?
Yeah, I was a bit safe to not get any punctures. I needed a good lap time, you know. Struggling all weekend, doing some silly mistake by myself, and it's good to be back in it. And I'm so happy for the team, you know. They work so hard, and have this great supportive fan I have here singing a good song, cheering me up, and they give me big motivation. But most of all, my mechanic and the team are doing a good effort here, you know. So we're gonna get into that semi.
Thank you. Well done.
He's very positive, isn't he, Backward? We're going to get into the semi, he says. Next 5 cars are on the line already. Heat 4, race 6, Jacques Villeneuve, Tommy Rustad, Robin Larsson, Edward Sandstrom and Emil Oman. Larsson here could tie up the European Rallycross Championship. He leads it by 10 points coming here. This is the 5th and final round of it. He will be desperate to get a clean start in the middle of the grid. Just stay out of trouble, Robin. Even start, no, they're ahead. So he's ahead of Sandstrom and Oman. Turning into the outside, Villeneuve goes into turn 1 first. right and then the left. We're going to see whether or not Villeneuve is quick enough over the jumps. He seems to be getting faster and faster over the jumps as the weekend's gone on. Here we go, lap one over the jump. On board with Larson, big jump, fast jump, dirt in the air, but it's Villeneuve who leads.
Yeah, good start from Villeneuve. He has done good starts today.
Larson straight to the Joker lap. Larson went straight to the Joker lap, so a bit wide maybe in the Joker lap, and Sandstrom's gone with him. So didn't want to follow Villeneuve.
No, he didn't. I think he maybe be afraid that Villeneuve will stop him a little bit. We'll see. I think Villeneuve maybe has a better pace now than he has in the beginning of the competition. He has improved all the time.
Sponsors Tower looking down on the very braking zone that you're watching right now. Stand right behind him. The three of them sweep around the hairpin, up and over the jump. A little section of dirt here with those tricky curves. A few big laps this weekend. They're being chased down now behind them by the two who've jokered. So at the top of your screen you can see where the graphic has gone grey. Larson and Sandstrom have both jokered. This is all about Larson.
You can see Villeneuve is really attacking, flying high over the jumps, and the bumper is flying in the rear. So yeah, he's getting it all in for it, I think.
Running a really stiff car as he has done most of the season. Here it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works here. Of course, he maybe suffer from it a bit on the jumps, but he wants a very stiff car. Maybe, of course, it's because of his racing experience. But on the gravel sections on some other tracks, he suffers quite a lot from it. So yeah, everything is a give and take.
Give and take from Villeneuve at the minute. He's only taking, he's out in front. But if you look behind them, Villeneuve through the left-hander, just coming into the right, which precedes that is Larson, who's jokered already. All the front three are yet to joker. The rear two have, so fairly even race so far. Villeneuve slides the car around wide. Rustad really wide down the bottom. And Oman has gone to the joke lap. We can see from the competition that Oman has gone to the joke lap. So he now will slot out into traffic. There he is, in the red DS3. Look on the back of the straight there, and he's dropped. So Oman has gone behind Larson and Sandstrom. We're up with the leaders, Villeneuve and Rustad. Rustad impressive in the Volvo recently.
Yeah, absolutely. He is for sure a very good driver. And I'm happy for Villeneuve because he was to reach the semi-final. He was very disappointed when I talked to him, but now he sets a really good lap time, 47.8 so far, so it's the best he has done this competition.
It's a great drive from Villeneuve, former Formula 1 world champion. He's winning the World Rallycross Championship this year. He's missed a few events because he works as a commentator for French television on F1.
But that makes me happy because then I can drive the car.
Yes, you can. Ramona was in the car when Jack wasn't last time in Germany, of course, just last week. My time has flown this year.
Nice driving from Jack in the Joker lap here.
Really tidy. Larson on the straight. Oh, alongside Villeneuve, just in front. Great job by Villeneuve, so close. Larson's having a look up the inside. Don't do anything silly now. Round the right-hander, Jacques Villeneuve is going to take this one. It's a brilliant drive through the left-hander. The checkered flag is out for the former Formula 1 world champion and for Larson, who surely now must be the European Rallycross champion. We'll have a look at the end of this heat, where the points stand. But a great drive by Robin Larson. He needed 4 clean heats. He's got the job done. And Jacques Villeneuve's got the job done as well. So a couple of problems earlier this weekend. Yet to see who's going to make it through to the semi-finals, but a good drive by the Canadian. Jacques Villeneuve taking the win, Robin Larson second, Sandstrom, Rustad and Oman. Slotting into the heat, Villeneuve with a 3:20.5, so around 2.5 seconds off the ultimate pace of Baccarat, but that was a reasonably quick heat compared to those that had gone before. Let's have a look at what went on down at the start then. Away from the line, Larson with a good start on Sandstrom. Oman moved across, but he was already in front, and round the outside, Villeneuve just whipped across them.
Yeah, very good start from Villeneuve for sure. He just sneaking into the left corner before the others. So yeah, his best heat for sure this competition.
Definitely, definitely. Nobody actually got near to him, so good timing for his Joker lap. He put in safe laps, flying over the jumps as well. Yes, they got passed in the air by Petter Solberg. This was the moment that they merged. Larson came out. Oh, and it was close. Larson having a look up the inside. But Villeneuve outbraked him around the outside.
Yeah, good heat for Albatec Racing. And just got second on Jacques Villeneuve first.
Neil Cole is with Jacques Villeneuve right now.
Jacques, that was a great heat. Your best heat so far. You enjoying it?
Yeah, and that was good. We had no issues with the car, and they didn't wet the track just before our race. So it felt great now.
And how is it for you tackling the jumps as well as the tarmac sections?
I love jumping. Just our car is not made for them, so it's painful. Every time you land, the visor goes down, the neck, the back hurts. But to go fast, that's what you have to do.
Great job, thanks.
Thank you.
Per la Monster Energy FIA World Rallycross, il round italiano, neonato campionato del mondo è pronto per dare in scena.
The RX Lights Championship rejoins us here in Italy for its penultimate round. It provides the chance to take a look at the freshest young talent in the rallycross world.
RX Light is great for us young people from 16 and over to get to know the rallycross as it is, and with the speed we have in these cars, it's quite sick because we're really close to the times in Supercar, and still it's quite much slower, like in speed, in the like kilometers per hour, but still we have a good speed through the corners.
It's a really fun car to drive, and it's four-wheel drive. It has all the things except the power as a Supercar has. So it's, you know, you learn to drive four-wheel drive, and you learn a lot.
Every car is the same, so we always like see how good the drivers are, and we can really feel like it's a driver championship, not the cars making like 50% of everything. I think it's a pretty good championship to be like on the next step to going into the World Championship.
You can watch everything they do. You know, these guys are really, you know, they are stars, and you know, I've looked up to a lot of these guys my whole life, and to be able to see what they do with media, and you know, also how they drive, the lines in the race, you know, it's really good.
Kevin Eriksson sits on top of the standings and looks odds on to be champion, while Kevin Hansen is placed an impressive 4th.
The season so far has been great. I couldn't do the first 2 rounds in Portugal and Liding because I was too young. I wasn't 16 yet. So, but when I came to Finland, I finally have turned the age I needed and got a win like straight off. So it was a great feeling. Took maximum point, the perfect 30, and then went to Sweden. And it was a great fight with me and Kevin. We had a bit of touch in the final and almost crashed it quite bad, but it's been really good. I'm lying shared third in the championship with Timur. Kevin Eriksson is leading by 30 points, so it will be really hard to catch him with these last 2 rounds that we have.
I won the last round in Sweden. It was really good, you know, my home race, and it was, you know, big crowd, and it was, you know, one of my biggest win ever so far. And now I just need to, you know, continue like I've been driving and take some points here, and hopefully I can be the champion at the end of the season. You know, if I became champion, you will be able to drive a Supercar in the final race in Argentina. That's been my biggest goal this season, to be able to drive a Supercar. So now I'm closer than I've ever been before.
Fastest heats yet to come. Heat 4, race 7, Anton Marklund, Richard Göransson, Gigi Gali, Pontus Tiedemann and Topi Heikkinen. Topi Heikkinen, another man who needs a clean start to get through turn 1 first. Must make it to the semis. If Petter Solberg does, they want to drag the championship out. Got to keep their hopes alive. Oh, contact with Göransson, Gali, Tiedemann, Heikkinen up the inside, but Marklund's come around the outside. Marklund is into turn 1 first. Oh, Gali out jumping Heikkinen. So Gali contact with Heikkinen. Incredible stuff from Gali. Proper World Rally Championship style attack from Gigi Gali up the inside there.
Yeah, now I recognize the Gali driving style. Really great.
It was indeed. So Marklund leads it down towards the end. Comes around the double right-hander. Second place. Oh, Gali's off. Gali is off. So where's that? Gali has spun at the end of the straight after the jump. We can see from where we stood. He's on the very far side of the circuit. So a mistake by Gali after a very, very enthusiastic start. But at the moment, this one is Marklund. And then Topi Heikkinen in second place. Gigi Gali rejoining. There are the two VW Marklund Polos. Fantastic cars, stunningly well built. And when you see them up close, the preparation is beautiful.
You can see it's very well balanced cars, and the engine is really great. So yeah, the team has done a very fantastic job.
I thought they'd be strong this weekend. They looked strong in Canada when it was long straights as well. We have long straights here, and they've got a lot of power. I mean, everybody's got a lot of power, but particularly the Polo seems strong to me.
Yeah, very quick in the start as well. I think when you have clocked the starts, the Polos are often very, very quick.
They did a lot of practice starts earlier on this year. I remember having a chat with Topi. I forget which round, but he'd spent a whole day doing practice starts, not in his car. The amount of damage that does to the drivetrain is really brutal off the line. Marklund braking hard and late. Toppy is closing the gap down onto the back of him. I wonder if the team will ask Martland to move over or not. Toppy needs every point he can get in the championship fight. What would you do?
Yeah, for sure. Well, as a team manager, I would, I think, take the decision, but of course it's not that fun for Martland. But well,
Championship,
yeah,
isn't it?
of course it is.
So we'll see how that plays out. Certainly they need to joker on separate laps. That comes up at the end of this straight. Markland over the crest. Toppy is behind him. Is he going to go to the joker lap? He doesn't. Toppy does. Toppy's gone to the joker lap. So Toppy is in the joker lap right now. Markland, Heikkinen down. Nip on the handbrake. Away to the right and then the left. And on the straight alongside him, who's going to merge with him is Tiedemann. It's Tiedemann who's merging on the straight, but we're with Markland down at the final corner into the left. Down the start-finish straight. But where is Toppy? Championship fighter. Toppy is in front of Tiedemann. They've just driven past the competition now, so Toppy Heikkinen sweeps around the hairpin. Tiedemann behind him. Both those guys have jokered. Anton has yet to joker, so it's all about the fight at the front between Toppy and Markland. Who do you think can take it at the moment?
We'll see. Toppy has about 2 seconds up to Markland at the lap time, so if he can take the time, well, it will be Toppy, but it's 2 seconds, it's quite much.
Markland into the joker lap now, down the flanks, for brake lights are flashing. Pulls the handbrake and now pulling on the gears. It's a race between him and his teammate. They're coming down towards the merge now. There's Toppy. Coming in from the left-hand side is Markland. Markland is clearly in front. So Anton Markland with a great couple of laps, but locks the wheel up down into the hairpin. Heikkinen behind him. No mistakes. They've dropped the right and then the left to do. It's going to be a 1-2 for VW Markland. Over the line, the flag falls sideways for Heikkinen. And then Tiedemann in the background. Goranson and Gali will be some way off after that mistake on the first lap. So the quick guys.
Really great time for Markland. I think it's the first time he's under 47 seconds on the best lap time, so perfect.
46.9, that is an incredible lap, so he must have put that in at just the right moment. It'll be lap 3. Here's the result of it, 3:18.3 and a 3:18.8 for Markland and Heikkinen. Tiedemann third, Goranson fourth and Gali fifth. They slot in there. Markland then is behind backwards, a backward 0.4 of a second faster. Heikkinen into third. We've still got Petter Solberg to come. Applause from the crowd, appreciating the great racing here. First time for the World Rallycross Championship in Italy, and they would have been a bit disappointed to see what happened to Gali. This was amazing, wasn't it, over the jump?
Yeah, Gali's amazing, what an amazing driver. I'm very sad that he had to stop the car here, but well, I hope for sure he will come back again.
I think he's keen, isn't he? I think he's certainly keen. He's all smiles. Oh, and there it was, so lost it on the brakes.
Yeah, a bit wobbling.
He was a bit wobbling indeed. Ended up going off backwards. Markland on the straight and Heikkinen slotting in behind him, but a brilliant performance there by Markland to get one over his teammate Heikkinen. Past the finish line. We can have a quick chat with Anton Markland right now.
Anton, a very clever but a very quick race as well. You must be pleased.
Yeah, of course. I was starting on the outside, so I really had to go all in or back off, and I went all in, and it was good. After that, I was staying a bit safe. I don't want to overshoot the jumps or anything. Now when I'm almost in the semifinals already before the race, so I was pushing 80%, 90%, I guess, 98 maybe. And it was enough for a second time so far, so we will see now. The last heat will be super quick, I guess. But anyway, we're in the semifinals, which is really good.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you.
Petter Solberg on the start line for the final heat race of Heat 4, on board with Petter. We were on board with him for a start earlier today. Here's the full lineup for Heat 4, Race 8. Johan Kristoffersson, Timo Timosjanov, Henning Solberg, Timmy Hansen and Petter Solberg. Solberg on the inside. Now that's where he gets because he was so fast in the last heat. It's the fastest time of the weekend. It's not necessarily the best grid slot. Reaches down, sets the car up, pulls the handbrake. It's in first gear and ready to go. He even starts. Solberg maybe not away from the line fast. His hands outside. He's going to shut the door. Henning, his brother, manages to stop him behind him. Timosjanov's got in front as well. Hansen, Timosjanov, Solberg, Kristoffersson, and then at the back of the queue, Henning Solberg. Henning looked like he protected Petter a little bit there. I mean, he's his brother. They're in separate teams. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe some brother-in-law. I don't know, but well, I don't know. In the track, they're competitors, so I think it's a bit of a battle between them as well.
Timosjanov He's gone straight to the joker lap. Behind him, Kristoffersson and Henning Solberg as well. So only Hansen and Petter Solberg have gone on the standard lap. These three behind are going to open a big fight. Petter chasing Timmy Hansen down. A sensible decision there from Peugeot Hansen to split the driver strategy on the very first lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And here you can see quite clear difference between the chassis between the Hansen car and the Petter car. Look at that. The Petter car is much softer and a bit more rally style in the driving, and Tim is very smooth and racing driving. So it's fun because the both style of driving are working apparently because the both are very fast.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? How they work out together. We know Petter roots his tyres a bit earlier than Timmy does. Timmy's maybe kinder on the car, but the lap times are so similar. It's incredible, really.
Petter is really giving all for it, the audience.
I think Petter has gone to the joker lap. Petter has gone to the joker lap, so Solberg was just disappearing off. Here he is in the background. He's coming through now. That's early to go if he wants to get the overlap on the others. He's going to come out the merge very, very even. Just in front, Petter Solberg's got 3 of the cars done on that very first joker. Great job.
Right decision.
Through the hairpin at the end. A little nibble on the handbrake twice there to get it turned in. Hansen around the right-hander. No handbrake from Timmy there, though, is there?
No, it was understeering. Petter handbrake there, you see clearly the differences between the driving side. It's very interesting.
Solberg picking up the throttle very early. Through the right and the left. Through the long left-hander. This is going to go all the way to the semi-finals. Hansen around and through the joker. Here he goes, Timmy Hansen then with his super tidy style. Watch for a little bit of handbrake. Dust in the background. An overtaking move there. I think that's looks like Kristoffersson who's run wide. Petter Solberg is on the dirt on the inside. Where's Timmy Hansen? Timmy's coming along the tarmac. Straight Timmy Hansen just in front of Petter Solberg. Great drive, Timmy Hansen. Solberg tried to close it down. There's a lap to go though. Can Petter have a little sneaky look up the inside, or is he going to play the championship game and sit behind Timmy to the finish?
It's really interesting and exciting. I see that Petter has slowed down his pace a little bit. Before he was about 46 seconds per lap quick. Now it's 48. So yeah, maybe he has slowed down a bit to secure the semi-final place.
Timmy Hansen with a 47.1 on his last lap, putting an absolute flyer to make sure he came out in front of Petter. Maybe if Petter had waited one more lap for the joker, he might have been okay. Look at the dust!
Yeah, can they see anything in there?
Not a lot, certainly around the long right-hander. Solberg carrying the speed sideways.
Yeah, magnificent to see. It's really audience driving for me.
Yeah, certainly the crowd will be absolutely loving Petter, won't they? Down towards the end of the straight now. Just the right-hander and the left-hander to go. The front end of Petter's car nosedives as he hits the middle panel. Through the left, Timmy Hansen's going to take this one. A great drive by him. Solberg is second. 3:16.1 from Timmy Hansen.
Yeah, that's a really good time.
It's fast. It's faster than Petter. Petter did a 3:16.2 in the last one.
That's correct, and also the total fastest for Timmy as well. So really great driving.
Timmy Hansen then with an incredible time, 3:16.1. Petter Solberg second, Timosjanov, Kristoffersson and Henning Solberg. That's where they slot in. Hansen and Solberg bang straight to the top of the standings. Timosjanov slots in 8th place. Great job by them. Topi Heikkinen is sitting in 5th in this heat, so that's good news. Good points for him. I think he'll make it through to the semis. We'll find out shortly. Fantastic racing in front of a passionate Italian crowd. This was the start.
Very even start.
Timmy Hansen just in front. And Timosjanov there just managed to get around the outside of Petter as well. Petter playing it safe?
Yeah, a little bit maybe. I think he really wants to reach the semi now, so maybe he's a bit in safe mode.
Safe mode for Petter Solberg. Unusual, isn't it? Unusual. He's managed it a few times this year. Long left-hander there. That was a little bit of a mistake, it seems, from Timosjanov. And then Kristoffersson managed to get alongside him. Those two look up and over the jump together. Kristoffersson down in the dirt at the end, maybe outbrakes himself. This was the merge. Timmy Hansen just in front of Petter Solberg and taking a slightly defensive line on the brakes. All that circuit racing experience playing into Timmy Hansen's hands. Great job. Solberg in second. Neil Cole is with Timmy Hansen right now.
So your crew were shouting push through that, and you really did. Well done, a very fast time.
Yeah, it was a really tough heat. And I heard Joker on the 3rd lap, and I expected the last, so I understood it's really close. But I did a perfect Joker lap, and I saw Petter on my right side down that long straight. And I didn't know if I would make it or not. But then I closed the door. I saw I came out in front, and I closed the door, and yeah, we just managed to stay ahead. And the car is feeling fantastic, so I'm really positive now for the semis.
But that's also great for the semis because you've been quicker than Petter. You're quickest so far.
Okay, yeah, that's good to hear. But now is when the real race starts. This was just the transport. Now we put that little bit extra on. Thank you.
Here's how they stand after qualifying then. Timmy Hansen is top qualifier with that wonderful drive in Heat 4 with Kristoffersen behind him. Petter Solberg, the championship leader, goes through in third. Markland fourth. Heikkinen is through in fifth. So those two will face off in the same semi-final. Timosyanov, Larsen, Henning Solberg, Göransson. Nitish makes it through to the semis as well. And Gali and Bakkerud. So Gali, fantastic for the local crowd. Semi-final one then, Solberg and Heikkinen are together. The other championship protagonist, Nitish, is in semi-final two. It's Kristoffersen and Hansen who take the two pole positions. Here are the standings for the European Rallycross Championship after round 5, the final round, and Robin Larsson is confirmed as the European Rallycross Champion. He came in with a 10-point lead, and it's 11 points now. Fantastic job by him. Great start to the season. Tough times in the middle, but a fantastic end to it. Henning Solberg is second, and Pontus Tiedemann is in third.
Robin, congratulations, you are champion. How does it feel?
It feels great. We've been struggling a lot this weekend, and the nerves have been out of control, and it's been some tough heats, so we've been a long way from the top, but we finished all 4 heats, so it's awesome to be European champion now. So now it's to take the full power of this engine and make the semi-finals.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you.
Anton, the car is being prepared for the semi-finals. How are you feeling at this stage? This car looks really quick out there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel really confident with the car right now. It's really fast on the track, and I'm not pushing 100%, and still I score good lap time, so that's really good. I can have a bit of a safe limit, so I'm not doing big mistakes or crashing the cars. And I think the main thing that we have right now, it's jumping really well, even if we are having a bit hard landings, because there is so quick jumps and quite high jumps. It works perfectly fine, and we aren't struggling anything with the jumps, so that's a really main key on the car on this weekend.
It's also good that you're not in the same semi-final as your teammate. How's the feeling in the team?
Yeah, of course, it's a really good feeling to be in another semi-final. Usually we are a bit unlucky and are in the same semi-finals, and it's really tough when you have to be third and you're fourth behind your teammate. You can't do really nothing. So now we are there in the semi-finals, having good starting position, both of us. So we should be quick out to the first corner and be able to control it a bit from the front. So it's of course really good to be in different semi-finals.
Thanks, Anton. We'll go and have a word with your teammate, Toppy, who's over here, I think having his photograph taken by famous motorsport photographer Tony Wellam. Toppy, if we could just have a quick word. You're ready for the semi-finals. Have you tweaked the car, made it even faster?
Yeah, we make little changes to the car, and we try to be a little bit faster in this semi-final, so we will do our best, and I think that's enough.
And I guess as a flying Finn, you're enjoying the jumping, but how about the rest of the circuit? How does it feel?
Yeah, the circuit is it's quite nice, I think so. We're having a big jumps and long straights and a lot of stop speed, so it's really nice somehow. It's a little bit different than the others, so it works.
Okay, all the best. Thanks, Toppy. Let's just have a quick word round the back where the people are looking at the data, preparing everything to get everything just right for the semi-finals. Just excuse me, please, if we can get through here. You're looking at the data, getting everything ready for the semi-finals, just hiding the graphs. Talk us through the strategy for the next hour.
Strategy, yeah, that's a good question. No, of course, now we are both in good places to the semi-finals, so we then need to take a good start and start to build it up from there and try to make a best as possible place in the final, and from there go for a win.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
In Italy, food and cars. As the dust settles from the tightest finish in RX history last round, Petter Solberg can look back on a large slice of luck after he won his 4th race of the season by just a few inches. It's always best to order the house special.
I think that finish was unbelievable. You know, we didn't have the best final, to be honest with you. You know, we had some problem. It was full throttle, and I was just happy to be second after Larsson. But obviously, when he did a mistake, you know, I was there straight away. I must say, very, very surprised to win the race, and but very happy at the same time when you can win with 5,000. You know, the luck is on my side because it looks exactly the same.
Solberg can wrap it up early at the intermediate stage after Heat 4, but he will need results to run his way. Only 2 men can now make a challenge, Topi Häkkinen and Reinis Nitish, and both will need to be on top form and hope Petter's luck finally changes.
I think I need to, like a better need to have some kind of bad luck, but of course we need to do our best, like our best in this weekend, and I think this track fit really good on our car, so I'm really looking forward. I think we can do a really good weekend.
It's easy. I have to win. That's the main thing. But yeah, sure. I have to be in semi-finals, and I hope that in the final as well, because the championship are in the finish line, and the Petter is so close to the championship title. But we have to push to the limit to stop him.
I'm putting my life into it, and giving up a lot of family and friends to achieve my goals, who is maybe the biggest cost of everything, you know. But yeah, we are close, but the dream is very close, and I taste it. I tell you, I've been close to many victories in my whole life, and it can be destroyed very quickly. So let's take one hit at a time.
It's a closer story in the team's championship. Peugeot Hansen had made ground up on the leading 2 of Ford IMSC and VW Markman, with improving performances from both drivers. But Timmy Hansen had to change his engine for the 4th time this season, resulting in a 15-point penalty for both team and driver. It's worth noting that Solberg is already on his 3rd engine, and one big pop could mean a serious dent in his title ambitions. Italy also marks the end of the road for the European Supercar Championship. Robin Larsson has a 10-point lead, and a solid run with a cool head will see the young Swede champion. The touring car and Super 1600s will also be resolved here in Italy, with Daniel Lund and Sergei Zagumenov leading the field respectively. We also welcome back the RX Light Series for its penultimate event of the year. There are now 3 rounds left this season, and they are all new tracks to RX. The Italian Franciacorta International Circuit is situated in the province of Brescia, itself included in the Lombardy region, and will provide a different challenge in front of a passionate and knowledgeable crowd. Here's the Italy track preview presented by Ion Cameras. Away from the line, it's an immediate left-right, a big jump onto gravel, then tar, a long run and an enormous jump before a right-hander and the split for the Joker. They merge at very high speed on a very long straight before heavy braking, a long hairpin right, a tight left-hander, and back down the start-finish straight to rejoin the end of the lap.
I'm Gigi Galli. We are here on the start grid. Here you can see the straights where it comes the first corner, and 5 car or 6 car coming together into a small line. It will be a lot of action, and as we say in Italy, sarà fantastico.
Here's the surface breakdown in Italy. The yellow is dirt and the grey is tar.
Behind me, the Joker lap is quite tricky because it's an hairpin where in the middle there is tarmac, so you have to go in the tarmac and again go in the gravel. You must be perfect, otherwise you lose time.
Right, here's what happened yesterday. Nitish and Häkkinen were very quick to serve notice to Solberg. They were going to make him fight for the title. Nitish got away well at the start, took an easy win. Behind him, Häkkinen had to fight hard for it, passing Tiedemann, smoking over the finish line. He took 2nd place, Häkkinen, so job done. Great race between Solberg and Villeneuve, the F1 champion against the WRC star. Sideways over the jumps, Villeneuve through the corners. In the end, Solberg got it. Christopherson got Heat 2, absolutely fantastic drive from the VW Polo driver, and that was enough to put him on top of the standings overnight. Disaster for Petter Solberg overnight. They needed to change an engine, nervous times, onto his last engine for the season. Came out this morning though and smashed it. Won Heat 3 by an absolute country mile. Brilliant job by him. Didn't get it all his own way today though. Timmy Hansen and Timo Timosjanov got in front of him at the start of Heat 4. Timo wasn't fast enough to beat Petter, but Timmy was. Look at this, very, very close on the merge. And Hansen won Heat 4, going a 10th of a second faster than Petter had gone in Heat 3. So brilliant drive by Timmy Hansen. Sees him on top of the standings. Christopherson, Solberg, Markland, Heikkinen, Timosjanov, Larsen, Henning Solberg, Göransson, Nitish, Gali and Backerud are the top 12. Here's how they split. The odds go to semi-final 1, evens to semi-2. So Hansen is in pole in the first, Christopherson in the second, but keep your eyes out for Heikkinen and Solberg in the first semi and Nitish in the second. Here's what we've got coming up for you this afternoon. Live Supercar semi-finals to see who goes through to that 6-car Supercar final. We have the RX Lights final. It's possible we could see the championship decided here. On to the Supercar final live. Again, we could see a world champion crowned in Italy. Now, just a few moments ago, Neil Cole was down on the pre-grid and he caught up with some of the Supercar drivers ahead of the semi-finals.
Timmy, this is your view down off the start line into turn 1 and then the jump for the semi-final. Talk us through your state of mind now and what the plan is for the semi.
Yeah, as you see from this angle, the first corner is really tight. But now it's just 2 cars on the front row. In the heats, it's been 5. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier from pole position. And it looks really black down there on my line, as you see. So I think there's going to be good grip there. It's really hot. So yeah, I think I can make a really good start and hopefully get that little jump on Petter alongside me and be first through that first corner, do the jump and then the rest of the job.
See, it's obviously going to be a very, very tight semi-final, and of course you'll be aware how crucial it is for Petter to your side. Is that in your mind at all?
Yeah, I think he has championship thoughts and I really want to win this race. So I think that's my advantage.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
A sellout crowd here in Italy, looking forward to the semi-finals, as am I. My name is Andrew Coley and alongside me in the commentary box this weekend is Supercar competitor Ramona Karlsson. Great weekend so far, Ramona.
Yeah, absolutely. What a competition. Really enjoyed it from here.
Looking forward to the semi-finals. Won't be long before we get the first one underway. Here's how they line up for it. Timmy Hansen is on pole on the inside with Petter Solberg alongside him. Row 2, Topi Heikkinen and Robin Larsen. On row 3, Richard Göransson and Gigi Gali. Some local interest with Gali at the back of the grid. If you don't know already, Larsen, who is on row 2, has been crowned the European Rallycross champion here in Italy. Apparently he's had an engine problem all weekend and they've turned it up for the semis and the final. They're not worried now if it goes pop. They've already won the European Championship. So watch out for Larsen. Solberg and Larsen with a decent angle into turn 1. Hansen on the inside with the tight line. Let's get things underway here in Italy. Round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Semi-final number 1. Oh, great start by Heikkinen, right up behind Hansen. Hansen blocks though Solberg coming around the outside. It's Hansen from Solberg with Heikkinen behind. Gigi Gali has come up into 4th place. Göransson to the back and then right to the back of the field. Larsen has had a problem away from the line. Down into the long left-hander before they head down towards the straight. Timmy Hansen is leading behind him, Petter Solberg. Ramona, great stop. Oh, bounce from Timmy on the landing. A big bounce from Timmy, just holds on to on the brakes. He defended well from Petter in the final. Can he defend from him in the semi-final?
Yeah, maybe we'll have the same scenario when Timmy came out from the jockey lap. It was just right before Petter, so it was really exciting. So I think he's with me as well.
So Timmy then and Petter, we know the fastest 2 drivers out there, just a 10th of a second between them. Heat 3, Petter Solberg took. Heat 4, Timmy Hansen took. This track should suit Hansen. A racing circuit, of course, with flat gravel areas as well. There's the view from the strongest tower. The cars scream past the competition on the brakes. Gali, I don't know if he went to the joke lap. Gali did go to the joke lap on the first lap, so he's dropped back a bit. Hansen again with another bounce on the landing.
Yeah, he's has a bit stiffer car than Petter. It's interesting to see these 2 kind of driving styles at the same time. Apparently very fast, both of them, but Tim is a very smooth and nice driver, and Petter is more a sliding rally driving style.
Well, Larson has just come past in the commentary position. I don't think whatever they've done to the engine has done the trick. It doesn't sound too clever, but we're more interested in the front. Timmy Hansen sliding the 208 across the gravel. Into the Joker lap goes Topi Heikkinen. So Heikkinen has now jokered. In front of him is Göransson, but Göransson hasn't taken the Joker lap yet. Remember, the top 3 go through and the bottom 3 go out. Solberg has to make it to the final to win the championship, Ramona. What does he do here?
I think that, as Timmy said before, he thinks a lot about the championship points. So yeah, I think that he will do a clever driving and not risk that much, maybe.
Just make it through to the final and then see what. Of course, he can't necessarily win it. It depends what then happens to Nitish and Topi. So much maths to do. I'm slightly concerned about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of points to count. I'm really impressed about both Göransson and Galli to be in the semi-final in their very first Supercar competition. All credit to them.
So one of those two guys maybe make it through the final into the Joker lap. That's Solberg into the Joker lap. Swings the car around on the gasway. Typical sideways start from Solberg. Hansen then now has got to get the hammer down and try and make a gap. Solberg comes out behind Göransson. Göransson still hasn't jokered. So at the minute, top 3 with jokers would be Solberg and Heikkinen. Hansen still to go, but I think Hansen's got enough time to come out. So it's going to depend whether or not Galli or Göransson can make it through in the top 3.
If you look at the lap times, it's very close between Timmy and Petter Solberg. It's approximately 0.3 seconds between them. So they're really the same speed.
Really the same speed. Really a different driving style. As you see Petter Solberg swinging the car out wide. We know he's hard on his tyres. Here's Timmy Hansen, ever the accurate driver, the background in circuit racing. I'd love to see a Peugeot Hansen win. I won't lie. They've tried so hard all year to get to the front. Petter's had 4 wins. Surely can let them have one, can't he?
Yeah, Timmy would really deserve it. It's been such a good competition for him with 2 heat wins, 1 second place and 1 fourth place. So yeah, he would be a really great winner in this.
It would be fantastic to see. We know that his father Kenneth Hansen will be up in the Ion Spotters Tower with us now. When are they going to make the call for that all-important joke lap? Göransson at the minute is in front of Solberg, and this could play into Timmy's hands. Göransson, I think he's going to be holding Solberg up. Solberg with the rear tyre smoking a massive jump from the World Championship leader. There's Göransson. This is the view from Solberg. On board now as we head towards the big jump. Göransson just in front. Solberg takes to the right-hand line. They both go flat out over that. Solberg apparently has some dampers prepared on the garage floor, and they really don't have... Göransson jokers. Göransson goes to the joker. Timmy Hansen hasn't, so Hansen's leaving it late, Ramona.
Yeah, he does. He wants to increase the leading before he does, so I think it's a clever decision.
So Hansen had jokered. We missed that, so Hansen had gone to the joker. Solberg's popped out in front of Solberg. Absolutely brilliant drive, Timmy Hansen. He's got a lap to go. He's got to defend from Petter, but Petter won't do anything silly, surely. As famous last words, that was what I said in Germany, and then he went up the inside of Larson.
You never know until the finish line.
Kenneth Hansen, concerned up in the Spotters Tower. Great view from here. Just this lap to go, so through the long left-hander. Third place in the minute is Richard Göransson. So Göransson, Heikkinen is down in 5th place. A spin, is that a spin for Heikkinen? Yeah, so Heikkinen's got a problem. Heikkinen's got a problem in front of the commentary box. Heikkinen has got a problem. This is the guy who's in the World Championship contention. Petter Solberg looks like he's going to make the final, and it looks as though Topi Heikkinen isn't. So problems for Topi Heikkinen. You're looking at Hansen in the lead. Solberg is right behind him. They've just got 2 turns to go, but the story here is the man who is second in the World Rallycross Championship, 51 points behind Petter Solberg, is not going to make it through to the final. Hansen through, Solberg through. Waiting in the background, it's Göransson who takes P3 into the final. Galli, Heikkinen and Larson are out. Wow, we need to get the old maths heads on now. Disaster for Heikkinen.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for Heikkinen. He didn't deserve that at all.
He knows, doesn't he?
Yeah.
On board, he knows. On board with Topi Heikkinen now. Disappointment.
Devastating.
Very, very disappointing for Topi Heikkinen. What went wrong there?
But happy for Göransson to make it to the final.
Yeah,
very
great
first
job by him.
Yeah.
Great job by him. Here's the replays away from the start. It's a fantastic start by Heikkinen. He slots in behind Hansen. Solberg's on the outside, and Solberg gets through into second.
Look at Solberg now on the jump.
Lovely car control, fantastic car control, wonderful. On board with him, so close, almost touching in the air.
Yeah. And those curves you shall really watch out for after the jump. They are quite high, and man has 2 wheels on those.
What a wonderful, wonderful shot. The 6 cars coming through on the first semi-final. Absolutely brilliant work from the camera crews here for the World Rallycross Championship. Topi Häkkinen disappeared, and I'm not sure when. We saw him come round with a problem down towards turn 1 and he span. This is the onboard with Petter, very similar to Heat 4 when Timmy came out just in front. They had a lap to go at that point, but the flag was out and Hansen took it. Here's confirmation of the result, semi-final number 1. Timmy Hansen wins with Petter Solberg in second, Richard Göransson third. Gali goes no further. Second place championship man Häkkinen doesn't either, and European champion Robin Larsen doesn't either. So Neil is with Kenneth Hansen up in the spotters tower.
Well, that was a great drive by your boy Timmy. Looks very good for the final and possibly his first win of the year.
Yeah, it's at least one step closer. So we have worked hard to get there, and now we have the pole in the final, so it feels great. Now we just need to take Teamer also to the final to have the both cars there, but it looks good, I can admit that.
The car seems to bounce a little bit after the jump. Is that a deliberate setting on the car?
Not directly deliberate, but you know, to get the setting correct for all the track, it's not possible. So we need to suffer something, and this race we suffer a little on the landing, so you're right there, but we think we are fast enough anyway.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Kenneth Hansen up in the spotters tower. The Ion spotters tower, of course, overlooking turn 1. We're down at the start now, lining up the cars for semi-final number 2. Let's see which of these 6 drivers is going to make it and which isn't. The most important one probably now is Reinis Nitish, third in the championship. He's a few further points back. Here's the full lineup for semi-final number 2. Anton Marklund and Johan Kristoffersen. Kristoffersen on pole. Row 2, Timo Timosjanov and Henning Solberg for Monster Energy World RX. On the back row, Reinis Nitish and Andreas Backerud, Ford OMSC teammates. Teammates on the back row. Really, Backerud's got to look after Nitish here, hasn't he? Or is he just drive for himself?
Well, most of the drivers in rallycross are very individual, so I think they have a strong competition mind, and well, I don't think they will give up, but of course they want to beat each other, I hope.
Ready to race semi-final number 2, and that's a jump start on the inside. Surely that's a jump start. Kristoffersen away from the line before the lights had changed. Oh dear. So gambling, Ramona, or you know, let's have a look at a replay. Definitely no lights at the top of the screen.
It was staggering a bit in the beginning, so maybe a chancing or maybe something with the
overheating
launch
of the car
system.
or, yeah. Either way, not good for him. Thankfully for us, he didn't do a full lap. They've just reversed him back onto the grid. They'll line him up now. And the 2 times Joker lap board that you can see on the ground just in front of Kristoffersen is what he's going to be shown. He's going to have to take the extra lap, and that is a disaster here because this is the longest Joker of the season.
They lose over 4 seconds on it.
So really, he's going to have to do incredibly well, isn't he, to make it through to the final with these guys on the same grid.
Absolutely.
So not good then for Kristoffersen. A long look at Marklund, who's on the front row with him, Timosjanov. Row 2, can he sneak through? Henning Solberg as well. Oh, bad start for Marklund, bad start for Marklund. Timosjanov, Kristoffersen got away well. Henning Solberg did well not to, he's coming to 3rd place. The guys on the back row had to avoid Marklund, who had an absolute shocker. So Marklund is only just coming over the jump behind these guys now. Around the left-hander and away. Ramona, bad start for Marklund.
Really bad, I feel really sad for him. Yeah, something went really wrong.
Lucky not to get collected.
Yeah.
Kristoffersen leads then. He's now going to have to see if he can do 2 Joker laps and still come in the top 3. At the top of your screen, you have a list of names in orange. When they go grey, they've done the Joker lap. And there's the first man to blink. Backerud has gone to the Joker on lap 1. Doesn't want to be in traffic. Head down now. He can try and make some time up.
Yeah. Well, Kristoffersen needs to really push now to be able to have a chance to reach the final since he's doing the extra Joker lap.
We saw his lap times yesterday. He's at 46.4 or something crazy yesterday. But he's going to need 6 laps like that, isn't he?
He's a great driver and a lot of experience, especially on tarmac. He was really successful in tarmac racing in Sweden. So, yeah, skilled guy.
A right man for the job. Unfortunately, didn't get the lights right. Marklund slow past the commentary position, so a problem for him as well, possibly. You're looking at Kristoffersen in the lead of semi-final number 2. Hard on the brakes. Look at the steering inputs as well. Super sideways, yeah. Back onto the gravel and away. And in the background, somebody goes to the Joker lap again. So that is Nitish. So Nitish has jokered as well. This is about Nitish and Backerud now. Which of them comes out in what position? Timosjanov chasing Kristoffersen down into turn one. Kristoffersen, I don't think he's going to have enough time around to do 2 jokers.
I'm afraid not, actually. The other one are driving really fast. So, but now it's at a really good lap time, actually. Kristoffersen is under 47 seconds. I think it's his fastest lap time now in the semi-finals.
So track conditions fairly similar to this morning. We haven't seen times like that up until now. Kristoffersen is on an absolute flyer. Bakkerud is in front of Nittish, playing over the jump in front of the Ion Spotters Tower, where we stood. It'll be interesting to see if Bakkerud gives up his position to let Nittish through. Kristoffersen down on the far end sideways, and again somebody goes to the joker in the background. That must be Henning Solberg, I think. So Henning Solberg into the joker in the background. Kristoffersen is gapping Timosjanov here. What a shame about that jump start.
Yeah, really shame. He has approximately 2 seconds down to Timosjanov now, so, but it's not enough.
Disaster as well for Nittish, because Henning Solberg has got in front of him off the joker lap. So Bakkerud, Henning Solberg is in front of Nittish, and we could see here Nittish getting dumped out. Remember, it goes to the final. Petter Solberg has to take a certain amount of points more than Nittish and Heikkinen to be able to secure the championship here in Italy. At the minute, the luck is falling his way. He's really ridden his luck this weekend, Petter. I mean, he managed to complete 2 heat races yesterday with a broken block.
Yeah, really impressive. And he put the Canada engine in the car instead, and for sure that the engine went really well. He's had a very good time with that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what Petter's like. He likes to play it down, doesn't he, and say that he hasn't got enough power. But certainly, I mean, he seemed to have an extreme amount of power this morning.
Yeah, Timosjanov took the joker lap now.
Timosjanov was joking then. Kristoffersen still has to joke. He hasn't joked once, and he's got 2 to do. So, that's Bakkerud. Bakkerud has gone back a place. So Timosjanov and Bakkerud in a tight fight between them. Timosjanov has got in front of Bakkerud. They're nose to tail on the way down to the braking zone. Timosjanov takes a defensive line. Hairpin round to the right. Accelerating away over the jump. A big slap down for the rear suspension from Bakkerud. Through the left-hander. Okay, looking at this now then. We've got Kristoffersen, who hasn't jokered, has to joker twice. We're on the second to last lap. Timosjanov, Bakkerud and Henning Solberg look to go through.
Yeah.
So they're not... Ford OMSC are not really in position here to... I suppose they could drop Bakkerud back 2 places and get Nittish up 2. Do you think they will?
Well, it's quite tight and exciting. I think everything can happen.
Oh, contact between Bakkerud. Bakkerud pushes Timosjanov around. Timosjanov, an incredible save by the Russian driver. Absolutely stunning car control. Double European Rallycross champion, and that is why. Great job by him. Down to turn 1, the fight continues in the background. Nittish has gone past Henning Solberg. Nittish has passed Henning Solberg. Fantastic fight. They know they're going to make it through to the top 3. Massive jump from Timosjanov and Bakkerud.
Incredible.
Brilliant drive. The semi-finals are so exciting. The guys know they've got to do it, and they haven't got any choice but to go flat out.
Yeah, what a control from Timosjanov. Just full throttle and hold the wheel and hope for the best, and he really made it.
Brilliant job by Timosjanov. It looks like Peugeot Hansen are going to have 2 cars in the final this afternoon. It's Timosjanov and Bakkerud, with Nittish just behind. Kristoffersen, is he going to come out in front of Nittish? He does. So Kristoffersen, but should he got 1 more? No, Kristoffersen's done his 2nd joker.
Yeah, he did.
Kristoffersen has done his 2nd joker, and he's still in 3rd place.
That's fantastic.
Incredible.
That's such an amazing effort.
Incredible. He's done it. It's unbelievable. We didn't think he could do it. It's Timosjanov has gone with the win. Bakkerud in 2nd. Kristoffersen has done 2 joker laps, but the big story is Nittish has not made the final. Nittish has not made the final. Petter Solberg can secure the World Rallycross Championship here in Italy. Here's a replay at the start. Markland, my goodness me, so lucky not to get collected on the grid. Big jumps on the first lap. All 6 of the cars over. Fantastic shots again. Timosjanov, that was the move on Bakkerud. Fantastic job by him up at the hairpin. But the car control moment of the day was surely Timosjanov, wasn't it, when Bakkerud gave him a push? Here it was.
Really impressive. Steering right again and throttle. Yeah, great.
Fantastic job by him. Now here's Henning up it. Okay. Henning gets a nudge then. So Nittish, I think, gave Henning a nudge, desperate to make the top 3. But who would have thought that Kristoffersen could pull off 2 joker laps and still come through in 3rd place?
Yeah.
An absolutely stunning drive.
Really impressive.
Impressed me, and I'm sure has impressed a sellout crowd here in Italy. Here's the result, semi-final 2. Timosjanov wins from Andreas Bakkerud and Johan Kristoffersen. Reinis Nittish, championship dreams may be over. He is in 4th place and goes no further. Henning Solberg and Markland. Here's the lineup for the final. Timmy Hansen and Timur Timosyanov on row 1, and all Peugeot Hansen row 1. Fantastic for them. Row 2, Petter Solberg and Andreas Bakkerud. Row 3, Kristoffersen and Richard Göransson. And Neil is up in the Ion Spotters Tower. Let's see who he's with.
Slightly distracted because it looks like there's a small fire in Henning Solberg's engine over in scrutineering, but disappointment obviously for you and for Reynis. Have you spoken to him on the radio? What did he say?
Yeah, he could do it, but he didn't have the pace at the beginning of the race. Then it was okay. He came closer to the guy in front. So I think the thing is what is missing this weekend was the speed, I think.
So that looks like it's the championship dreams over for Reynis for this season.
Yeah, the title I think it's over now, but still the second place is okay. I think Ekinen is not in the final, so we have to check the points. I think he will take some points on Nitis again, but he's get closer.
But what a race!
Yeah, what a race! It's a crazy race.
Thank you.
There is Reynis Nitis, and it looks as though his championship dreams are over. He hasn't made the final here. Petter could wrap it all up. Incredible action so far from the semi-finals. There are Petter Solberg's mechanics hard at work getting that car ready for the final. There he is. We think, we're doing frantic maths, but we think Petter Solberg needs to finish first or second to take the championship. Nitis knows, doesn't he? He knows, Ramona.
Yeah, he looks really disappointed. I can for sure understand him.
Would you have put your money on either Nitis or Häkkinen not making? I thought one of them would make it.
Actually not. And this is a proof that, yeah, really anything can happen in rallycross, and I can understand the guys' disappointment. I really feel sorry for them.
Let's have another look back at the action from the semi-finals. This was the start of semi-final number 1. Hansen with a great start in front of Solberg. Hansen has just stood up to the pressure through the whole race.
Yeah, he's so cool. Such a young guy, so talented, and yeah, he's really born and raised to do this. You can see that clearly.
How much would he like to win? I don't think he's won. Hansen, I think his last win was in Hungary last year, so it's a fair old while ago. They haven't had a World Championship win, and they've got a front row lockout.
Yeah, for sure. And he's proven of a very even driving this weekend. He has improved and has taken 2 heat victories and 1 second place and 1 fourth place. And it's, I think, the best heat. Yeah.
Incredible performance.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant job, and an even better job in the semi. That's twice now this weekend as well that he's beaten Petter on the track. So
yeah,
good for his head. Not so good for Markland's head. Bad start for them. So it was a disaster for him and for Toppy. Henning Solberg didn't make it through. He had a little nudge from Reynis Nitis, but it wouldn't have mattered because Johan Kristoffersen did the impossible. Jumped to the start, and with 6 of the best drivers in the World Rallycross Championship, got 2 Joker laps in.
Yeah, that's really impressive. He has good genes. His father, Tommy Kristoffersen, was a really skilled rallycross driver, and I know that this team has done a lot of testing and very professional work to be where they are right now. So, yeah.
And managed to keep a really cool head as well to pull those 2 Joker laps off. Brilliant drive by him. Flag fell on that semi-final. We were all surprised to see that Nitis wasn't going through either. Little look here in the Peugeot Hansen garage. Timmy Hansen's car. Final checks. They'll have chosen the best 4 tyres which are left. Only 8 tyres, of course, for the weekend. Timur Timosyanov as well is having his car re-prepped. It's going to be a Peugeot Hansen fight into turn 1. Brilliant, brilliant action from the semi-finals. The crowd here are looking forward to the final, but of course before they do that, we've got the RX lights to have a look at. Here's the lineup for the final. Daniel Holton and Kevin Hansen are on the front row. Kevin Eriksson and Yigit Timur on row 2. And Faith Kara and Pierre Alonghi on row 3. So RX Lights then, a one-make championship. It's not all about young drivers. They've all got the same equipment. Most of these guys are young and looking to make the move up into supercars. But first of all, they need to prove their mettle in the support category here. RX Lights away from the line, holds with a great start. Hansen is alongside him. Kevin Hansen turns in. Up the inside of him is Kevin Eriksson. Contact between Kevin Eriksson and Kevin Hansen. That ended in tears earlier on this year, but Eriksson has got the job done. He gets in front of Hansen. Good start by him. So Kevin Eriksson from row 2 comes up and manages to pip Hansen into turn 3.
Yeah, incredible move, really.
Now, we had heard that Eriksson maybe had a problem with his car coming into this final, but so far it doesn't look that way. These cars, if you're not familiar with them, around half the power of a supercar, about 310 horsepower and a 2.4 litre non-turbocharged engine, so loads of noise as well.
It's a really good car to start with, and of course it's both a fast car and a good car to start with to maybe improve to get into a supercar in the future.
So the guys really, all they can change obviously is the settings of the car, so the way the car feels to suit their driving style. So it does come down, doesn't it, to a driver battle.
Yeah, a good, you can see Richard Göransson has made some competitions in the RX Lights and made very, very good results, and now he's in a supercar for the first time in the final, so for sure this is a good step.
Brilliant job by Göransson. He, of course, was second in this championship. On the right-hand side of your picture, that's Markland and Ikonen. They are going no further, so not a great afternoon for VW Markland. Of course, they're fighting for the team's championship with Ford OMSE. Ford OMSE haven't exactly had a brilliant result. He's rather playing into the hands of Peugeot Hansen, who stand to close the gap down here. Of course, with another couple of events to come, we're off to Turkey and then to Argentina to round the season out. So, whilst the Drivers' Championship is looking like it's heading in the direction compared to Solberg, the Teams' Championship has all to play for. So a completely different noise from these cars because of those high revs. Kevin Hansen has done his Joker lap along with Longi. Longi is a rally driver and a racing driver. He's got all the skills he needs to make this work.
Yeah, rally driving is a really good experience, but also tarmac driving, of course. And that was actually the first thing I noticed, that rallycross is sometimes a bit more like racing than rally. So yeah, it has a good mixture of both surfaces, tarmac and gravel.
Now your background, of course, is mostly rally driving. You were saying at the last event in Germany, you were probably too sideways and that you need to make a smoother style, a bit more like Timmy Hansen, maybe.
Yeah.
Same thing with these?
Yeah, I saw in Germany, of course, I thought it was a track that could suit me, but then I was too aggressive and too much rally style driving. So when I'm unsure, as I were in a new car, I really often go back to my old driving style. And you don't earn time by sliding, apparently. So you really have to, yeah.
Concentrate, keep it tidy.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side, Timos Yarnov slides his Hans device on and his crash helmet too. There'll be some tension down in that garage. At the moment, Eriksson in front of Hansen. He's looking strong, but of course you get Timur is also in there in the championship standings, so we need to just have a little look and see. There's another round to go for the RX Lights Cup. The RX Lights Cup are with us in Turkey. So Eriksson will need to finish the event with a 13-point gap to become champion here. And of course, it's Ramona said Richard Göransson was second in this championship, and he decided to finish the event, finish the year off with a couple of events in supercars. So that's really handed the advantage to Kevin Eriksson, son of Andreas Eriksson, who of course runs the Ford MSE team and all of these RX Lights. So spends a lot of time in the car, Ramona. He's often referred to as the RX Lights test driver because he does so many laps in it.
Yeah, and car driving is really about experience. The more you drive, the more you improve. So even though it's just sitting in a normal car, just to sit in a car often is very important.
Seat time, really important. Down towards the Joker lap, smoothly into there, less of the handbrake there and just a tidy input.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look nice, good line.
Holton braking towards the hairpin at the end of the straight. Kevin Hansen comes out behind Kevin Eriksson. It's about between these two, as I say. It ended in tears at Hollius earlier on this year. They're good friends. They weren't too happy with each other after that one. I think they've got over it. They were both racing last weekend, I think, in America, in the lights. Oh, a locked wheel from Eriksson, Hansen gives him a little nudge from behind, so they're on the final lap, these two. Holton's yet to Joker in front of them. Has he got enough time to do it?
He's approximately 6 seconds before Eriksson, so yeah, it will be with a tiny marginal in that case.
Really tight then when Holton goes to the Joker lap. Eriksson has a slight gap over Hansen behind him. The two Kevins at the front of the field make the double right-hander. There's Holton in the background. You can see Holt in the background. I don't think he's going to be near enough. I think that they're going quicker. I think Ericsson's going to come out in front. So it's Ericsson. Holton's alongside him. Holton just gets it. Great exit from the Joker lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he did it really well.
Holton around the final corner is going to take victory here. RX Lights Cup falls to Holton. Second place Kevin Ericsson. Third place Kevin Hansen. Now we understand that he is the champion as well. That's what we're being told. That he is the champion. Kevin Ericsson is the RX Lights Cup champion, we're being told. We're getting messages from Timing telling us that. So Ericsson should be very pleased. Decent year's work for him. He's had it made slightly easier by the fact Kevin Hansen, of course, couldn't do the first couple of events this year because he was too young. Goranson has gone off to do Supercars, but that's not to take anything away from a brilliant young driver. Kevin Ericsson did a great job here as well to get in front of Kevin Hansen right at the start of the race, Ramona.
Absolutely tough battle them between, and yeah, really good driving, and it was really tight in the top. Ericsson was just 0.3 of a second after Holton, so yeah, exciting.
Good job by Holton. A win for him in Italy, and as I say, one more round of this to come, so that will all be for fun. If the championship is settled, these guys can really go for it, hammer and tongs in Turkey, which of course is the home event for the RX Lights. That's where the factory is, just 5 minutes from the RX track in Turkey, where we're headed next, Istanbul. Over the line, checkered flag fell on the top three. Here are the results of the RX Lights Cup. Here in Italy, Daniel Holton taking the win from Kevin Ericsson and Kevin Hansen. Then it was Piero Longhi, Yigit Timur and Fatih Kara. Neil is with Kevin Ericsson right now.
Kevin, congratulations, you are the champion.
Thank you very much. Oh, I was very, you couldn't, any mistake in the final and you will have been, passed directly. So it was a really nice feeling to cross the finish line a second. I could have, Daniel was really quick. He was big congratulations on his first win here in the RX Lights. But Kevin was my main competitor, and I needed to be in front of him, and I managed to do that. I had the speed, I think, to win, but now the championship are mine, and now the Supercar in Argentina.
We'll see you there. Well done.
Thank you.
Enormous crowd here in Italy for their first rallycross event since 1980. The RX Lights, of course, are not the only support category we've had here. We were going to have a look at the Super 1600s and touring cars, but instead we'll have a look at the championship standings, I think, for the RX Lights Cup, first of all. Apologies. Celebrations down there. Kevin Hansen congratulating Kevin Ericsson. All smiles from those two. Here are the championship standings, confirming Ericsson is the champion. He has a gap of more than 30 seconds over Kevin Hansen. Then it's Holton in third, Timur, Goranson, who of course has moved on to Supercars, Westland, Ericsson and Olofsson. That is the championship, the RX Lights Cup, as we head towards the final round in Turkey. Now we are going to have a quick look at the Super 1600s and the touring cars here from Italy. So this man, Zagumenov, came here with a championship lead. It was a fair old lead. It was 24 points over Miss Julia, his teammate at the Volland Racing team. They had an absolute shocker in Germany, both of them shunting the cars. But as you can see, Zagumenov got the necessary points. So there he is, picking up the team boss, Volland. Very, very happy indeed. Nervous times for them after the disaster that was Germany. But Zagumenov has got it done. This is Daniel Lund. He was leading the touring car category when he came here, but only by 14 points. And he goes away the champion.
Daniel, what an emphatic way to win the 2014 Touring Car Championship. How do you feel?
Amazed. It's absolutely amazing. We have talked about we not take any risks this race and just drive smart, and we have doing that. I'm really thankful to all the whole team and supporters and sponsors. It's fantastic.
Well, brilliant job by Lund in the final. Didn't go quite his way. See him losing out turn one. In fact, contact there, I think, between him and Roy Rast from the looks of things. But but for the champion Lund, the result in the final didn't really matter anyway. Philippe Bayliss in the Volvo was the winner earlier on in the year in Belgium. The top three ended up being Anders Bratton, Bayliss came through in second and Lohner in third, beating Lund, but it was too late. Lund was already the champion. Here's the championship standings. Lund taking it by 19 points in the end from Lohner, Bratton, Larsen, Sousten, Nordgaard, Bayliss and Tangen are your top 8 for the touring cars. Super 1600, Zaki Benov looked like he nearly jumped the start there, but either way he managed to get away with it. Always a decent fight between these cars, they're so close together. This was Miss Julia in the orange Fabia. Similar thing to him as what happened in the touring cars. Miss Julia beat Zakimenov, but it was just too late. So standings after round 9. Zakimenov, the European Rallycross champion in Super 1600, his teammate Nikita Misula in second, and Yanis Balmanis in third, and he in fact was on the podium for the most times of all the drivers this year, so a brilliant job by him. Very nearly time for the Supercar final. The Monster Energy girls are down on the grid, waiting for the cars to line up behind them. The weather here in Italy has been absolutely stunning, and so is the action so far. We're going to head down to the grid. Neil Cole is with Petter Solberg.
This is it, Petter. You've got 2 Peugeots and 6 laps in front of you. How are you feeling?
I can't hear a damn shit, by the way. I try my best, so thank you.
Good luck.
Good old Petter. Short interview there, quite typical. Apparently couldn't hear us. The doors are being fanned in the background. So hot in these cars. Ramona, we saw how much Kevin Eriksson was sweating from just driving a lights, and that's with no disrespect, they're not as physical drivers as Supercar. These guys have just done a semi-final. Now they're about to jump in.
Yeah.
Going to be very, very hard work for them.
It's very important not just to drink this day, but the day before as well, to collect
to be fully hydrated.
Yeah.
A little bit of tyre cleaning going on. Timmy Hansen on pole position in the final. At the bottom of the screen, you might see a tweet. If you're tweeting us, it's at RallycrossRX, of course. Glad so many of you are with us to watch Petter Solberg potentially wrapping up the World Rallycross Championship. Let's not forget it's the first ever season of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Solberg has to finish first or second, and that will ensure that he is the champion. He'd be the first man to win 2 FIA championships in 2 different disciplines. So much hinges on this. Here's how they line up. Timmy Hansen on pole, Timosyanov alongside him. Petter Solberg third and Andreas Backerud fourth on the grid. And the back rows, Johan Kristoffersen and Richard Göransson. I'm nervous, so goodness only knows how the drivers feel. Solberg sitting alone now in the car. Just the voice of a spotter in his ear. He can get it done here. First or second, he's going to have to get past one of those Peugeot Hansens. We're ready to go. Away from the line, brilliant start from Solberg, but he gets the door shut in by Timosyanov. Backerud is alongside Solberg. It's Hansen, Timosyanov, Solberg. Backerud in and over the jump. Kristoffersen nearly gets run to the back off by Göransson. And now it's all about keeping it tidy. Now we know that Petter needs to get up one place in front. He knows that Timmy Hansen is as fast as he is. Can he get Timosyanov?
Why not? We have seen some really incredible driving for Petter this weekend, so I think that he is capable of doing anything.
Solberg in third in the background. Someone's gone onto the joke lap already. It's not one of the top 3. It's Hansen, Timosyanov into the joke lap. It looks like Göransson. So Göransson has gone for an early joke lap to get himself out of the traffic. And these 3, look at the gap, Ramona, in just half
Just trying from the inside.
Timosyanov's run wide. Is it a problem for Timosyanov? Timosyanov has stopped the car to Persian, and in the background Kristoffersen's pulled off as well. Timosyanov's going again, but Kristoffersen has pulled off. This has put Petter Solberg in the position he needs to be to win the World Rallycross Championship. But we're looking at Timmy Hansen out in front. Timmy Hansen now the only hope for Peugeot Hansen of taking a victory here at round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. He's held him off. He's held him off twice today. Can he hold him off again, Ramona?
Yeah, I think that Petter is... Yeah, he can do anything, I think. And yes.
Solberg into the joke lap. Sorry, Ramona. Solberg into the joke lap. Timmy Hansen has won the Monster Energy Supercharger Award. He was the first driver down into turn 1. He wants to be the first driver over the finish line, but in the background, Petter Solberg is chasing him down now hard.
And we will for sure continue doing that.
Look at the dive on Solberg's car. The setup's so different to anyone else's.
It's very soft. If you compare his car to Timmy's car, it's totally different cars, but totally different driving styles as well.
Solberg absolutely on the limit, down the straight, passes the eye on Spotters Tower. There are his team. They know what's at stake, pulls the handbrake, slides the car around turn one. Smoke pouring from the rear tyres. Yesterday it was smoke pouring from the engine. It looked like a disaster. Look at the look on Petter Solberg's face.
Fully concentrating, really.
He couldn't be more concentrated. Hansen there. Hansen looking like he took the tyres on the inside, down through the joker. Hansen's gone early into the joker. Backwards retired. That's the first we've seen of that. Backwards retired at the end of the circuit. So Backward and Kristoffersson are both out. Hansen through the joker lap. They're obviously worried that Petter's going quicker than him. Hansen is coming through now. Where is Solberg? And he's miles in front. So Hansen's miles in front. Has Petter Solberg got a problem? Solberg has a problem, and Göransson is trying to have a look up the inside. If Göransson beats him, then he can't be the champion here.
So exciting.
It's incredible. Rallycross is just incredible. It keeps delivering. He's gone past. Solberg has a problem down the straight. Göransson has got past. And you couldn't write it. You could not write it. Timmy Hansen is out in front. This effectively is a three-car race. Timosyanov is so far back now. Solberg needs to be in second place. If the car's gone sick, if it's the engine, he's going to need to turn up in Turkey. We can't see what's wrong with Solberg's car. The rear suspension has collapsed on Solberg's car. Maybe over one of the jumps of Solberg. This happened in Belgium. Oh, it's a disaster.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you can clearly see that the suspension is broken.
He can't have a drama-free life, can he? Petter Solberg just seems that the drama just follows him around. We're going to focus on Timmy Hansen, who is out in front. He's taken his joker lap. He's a long, long way in front now. Hansen down towards turn one. Solberg is heading up towards the hairpin. Solberg's car stricken. Göransson, on his first time in a supercar, having come up from lights, is doing an absolutely stunning job over the jump for Göransson. You're looking at Timmy Hansen off in the distance.
Yeah, he does a really good driving. Timmy has really the best lap times. 47 seconds, that's the best compared to Göransson with 49 seconds and Solberg 48.
Brilliant drive by Timmy Hansen. If he can hold on for another lap, this is thoroughly deserved. They'll be calling on him from the spotters tower now. Kenneth Hansen is up here in the aisle spotters tower with us. Nervous times for the team since the tie-up with Peugeot. Official manufacturer involvement with the Hansen team. It is Peugeot Hansen now. Of course, last year it was just Hansen, and Hansen looked slow through turn one there. Was that a problem, Ramona?
I saw that as well. Maybe he put in the wrong gear or something. Something happened. So
a problem, mate. Not a problem for Hansen, surely. We think there's a problem for Hansen as well. So Göransson. It's Timosyanov, sorry, it's Timosyanov. We're looking out the competition window and looking at pictures of Petter. It's Timosyanov with the problems. Apologies. So much going on. Look at Petter. His face says it. His face says it. Crawls past the commentary box. Down at Hansen. Around to the right. He's coming up the gravel section now. Just has to finish this lap. Bits of cars. Timosyanov, there we are. That's the problem for Timosyanov. The tyre is off the rim. And there are bits of the car just falling off as he heads around the lap.
It doesn't steer at all in the right curves.
So disaster then for Timosyanov, but they're not too worried about that. It's Hansen that they want to see. There it is. Timmy Hansen takes victory. The huge cheer goes up in the Ion Spotters Tower. Hansen pitches the car into a big spin down underneath us, right in front of the competition here. Hansen does donuts. It's a win for Peugeot Hansen, their first win as a manufacturer team. Timmy's first win since last year in Hungary. Brilliant drive by Timmy Hansen. Petter Solberg comes across the line. He looks like he's waiting on the radios. 2 turns still to go. We're sure that he needs to be in the top 2 to be champion. So I think it's going to go to Turkey. We think the championship is going to go to Turkey. Petter's team, though, are going nuts on the wall, so we'll have to wait and see. Up on the roof, Timmy Hansen is on the roof. He's celebrating. Up in the Ion Spotters Tower is Timmy's dad, Kenneth Hansen, and Neil Cole is with him right now.
Been on the roof of the car. What an amazing win.
Yeah, incredible. We have worked so hard to get there. And finally we achieved to win. It has been a long and hard and tough work, but it feels so much better now. So
Come on, Kenneth!
Come on!
Solberg is celebrating. Solberg is celebrating like he's the champion. His team are all over him. They think he's won the championship. We need to see the points. Timmy Hansen has taken the victory here, but it looks like Petter Solberg thinks he's the world champion. We thought he needed first or second, but they've obviously looked at the points in detail. As soon as we get confirmation from timing, we'll let you know. Solberg across to hug the Peugeot Hansen drivers. It's Timosyanov, I think, down there with him. Solberg away from the line. Hansen blocking Timosyanov into turn 1. And it looked like it was going to be a 6-car race, Ramona, and then it just all went wrong.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What a race. Yeah, really, really exciting.
Hansen in the lead, Timosyanov ran wide. So we're hearing from timing, we think Petter Solberg is champion because he has a 60-point gap and he has more wins than anyone else. It would be impossible for him to be beaten if he has a 60-point lead. So we will wait and see when we get the championship points in just a few moments' time. But this is all about Timmy Hansen's win and Petter Solberg, who clearly believes he is the first ever World Rallycross champion. Here are the results of the final hit from round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Timmy Hansen wins from Richard Göransson and Petter Solberg, with Timosyanov, Kristoffersson and Mbackarud rounding out the 6 in the final. All action here, so much going on. We're waiting on more confirmation of the results, and we'll have them with you just as soon as we can. Solberg then, with another dented roof. He won't mind if he's won the championship. We think, so we're now hearing that we think he's maybe not champion. It's such a complicated scoring system. Petter is convinced he is. We just need to see the points. If he's 60 points clear, if it's 60 points clear, then we think he is. But let's focus on Timmy Hansen. Timmy Hansen with the first win for the Peugeot Hansen team. It's their first win in the World Rallycross Championship. Brilliant job. Look how pleased they are. I think that's Stephanie from Peugeot Sport there, rushing up to congratulate Timmy.
It was nice to see Kenneth. He was really moved about this, and he said they have worked really hard, and I know they have done that. So yeah, I'm really happy for him. And as I said before, I think he really deserved this victory. Yes.
Petter Solberg's car is rolling away with him stood on the roof.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't. The guys are trying to stop the car from rolling off into the barrier. Solberg's on the roof in front of the Italian crowd. They love their motorsport here. We've got a track invasion. Timmy Hansen puts his helmet on the roof. He's so pleased. There's his mum. Hat on. Solberg waving to the crowd. Well, brilliant action as always. It's just Rallycross RX, the World Rallycross Championship. It hasn't failed to deliver all year. It's been such fun. I know you've had the pleasure of being a part of it, Ramona. It must be a wonderful competition to compete because it's such fun to commentate on.
Yeah, it is. It's such an explosive sport, and like anything can happen. So yeah, I really like the format and the audience and everything.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Short, sharp races. Cheers from the crowd for Petter, who pulls down underneath the Arne Spotters Tower. His car is being taken straight in, it looks like, to the holding area. Either way, he's on the podium. Fans will be making their way down from the grandstands to the holding area. Petter's team are running around to greet him. Press are mobbing the area. If he is the champion, he's the first ever FIA World Rallycross champion and the first man to win the championship in 2 different categories. See what it means to him.
Guys, out of the way.
Neil Cole is down at the right there with Timmy Hansen, the winner.
Well, there's a lot of fuss just here in Parc Fermé, but the big fuss should be about you. Finally a win this year, and what a way to do it.
Yeah, finally we win. We have fought so hard for this. We've been really fast, and finally we're able to put it together over a whole weekend. The guys did an amazing job. The car is really fast, and in the final I got a big gap, so it's just to take it home. And this feeling is outstanding.
But it felt good as well to watch what was happening in the Spotters Tower with your dad and everyone else together.
Yeah, I mean, we're really a team. We did this together. It's not only me, it's all of them.
Enjoy the podium.
Thank you.
Brilliant job, Timmy Hansen. Congratulations. His first win in a World Championship. Here are the World Championship standings after round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Petter Solberg is the first ever World Rallycross champion. He's 60 points clear, and there's only 60 points available. Solberg has more wins than anyone else. No one else can equal the number of wins he has. So Solberg, the World Rallycross champion, after 10 rounds, 2 rounds remaining. Teams Championship, oh, it's so close. Team Peugeot Hansen have really closed the gap up to 300 points. They're chasing down VW Markland and Ford OMSE. Very tight at the top, all still to play for. Neil is with the champion, Petter Solberg.
Petter, I can see how much this means to you. You look exhausted, but elated. Talk us through what's just happened.
I was in a good fight. The main thing was to try to get third, and typical me, I saw that I was on the pace, and I saw that I had a free way to go and really go for a big push. Happened the same thing in the rear dampers, but it doesn't matter. I'm very happy, and to my family and my son and wife, everything is just fantastic. All the fans, I get to hope more later, but it's unbelievable, unbelievable.
World Rally Champion 2003 and World Rallycross Champion 2014.
Unreal, isn't it?
But there aren't many words that I can say there to explain the emotion which is going on. Petter Solberg there was greeted by Martin and I from IMG, the promoter of the fantastic FIA World Rallycross Championship. I don't think anyone can say this first season hasn't been a success. Ramona Carlson, it's been a pleasure to have you up here in commentary with us. Have you enjoyed your day?
Very much. Thank you for having me here. I've really enjoyed it. So this is really have been a great weekend, and a lot of the audience and the weather and the cars and the results.
And the action has just been unbelievable, hasn't it?
And look at Petter. I get really moved when I hear him. He is so happy. Yeah, it's really from the heart.
It is, isn't it? You know how much it means. And there we are, big hug from the winner, Timmy Hansen. Göransson, let's not forget Göransson. We haven't mentioned him. What a drive to come second in his first event in a supercar.
I'm really impressed. His goal was to reach the semi-final, and he has done it really, really well.
Solberg picks up the trophy for third. It's not that one he's worried about. He's looking forward to picking up the big trophy, the World Championship trophy. The first man to win an FIA World Championship in 2 different categories. What a brilliant, brilliant job by him.
Yeah, it's so well deserved. I haven't seldom seen a man with such a car control as Petter has.
No, he's incredible, isn't he? Absolutely incredible. Timmy Hansen, though, highly deserving of picking up the trophy for first place. He wins round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. He also, of course, wins the Monster Energy Supercharger Award. It means so much to Timmy too. He's such a good guy. I've spent a lot of time with Timmy over the last couple of years. The family have been so generous with their time as the sport has grown.
He's a great guy, very polite and very humble guy, and he really comes from a motorsport family, and his mother has always also been a really great rallycross driver when she was young, so born to do this, I think.
Definitely. And the Monster Energy Supercharger Award as well, first into the first corner. Brilliant, brilliant job. All 3 people on the podium taking incredible results. Hansen with the first win for Peugeot Hansen, his first World Championship win. Göransson on the podium on the first time out. And Petter Solberg, the first ever World Rallycross champion.
Il secondo in carriera dopo il Mondiale Rally nel 2003.
Champagne for Hansen and for Solberg, Göransson as well. There'll be a big party tonight in Solberg's tent. Well done, Timmy Hansen, the winner of round 10. Here's a look at some of the action from the weekend. There was that big sideways save from Timosyanov. This was Henning Solberg getting punted off. Nitish had a look up the inside, but that was it. Nitish was out. He went no further. Topi Heikkinen didn't either. And that gave Petter Solberg the chance to take the win. Holton took a good win ahead of Ericsson. But we've crowned our champions here in Italy. 5 championships are gone. The team's championship remains to be settled. Here it was, Timmy Hansen and Timosyanov in the front row for the Peugeot Hansen squad, taking a fantastic haul of points for Peugeot Hansen. Team championship still to be decided, but this man, Petter Solberg, is the first ever World Rallycross champion.